I've tried to help the lonely men. I've tried to give them advice and they do not want to be helped. I tell them, you being ugly is not what's keeping you from a relationship. And they say, women only want 7-foot-tall millionaires. I say, charisma is to men as beauty is to women. Focus on your charisma if you're struggling to pull. They say, my social incompetence is a life sentence that I can never ever get out of. It's just victim, 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 me, 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 me.
Boy, do I relate to what she's saying. I created this channel to help men, to give them perspectives that they don't typically hear in the red pill manosphere space, and they fight me the entire way. And I don't understand it. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get you the dates and the love that you want, but you want to make excuses. You want to then blame women. You want to blame society. You want to blame feminism, blame women's standards. And even when I point out to you, look at how many normal guys are in relationships, you make the claim that, well, those women are just settling anyway. They're not happy. They're just settling. It sounds like you can't be helped. And the phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, comes to mind. I can't make you want to get the life that you want. If complaining about it on the internet is getting you closer, then by all means, continue to leave hateful comments. But if you really want to understand what it's going to take for you to attract somebody in your life, then maybe you should really listen to the people that are trying to help you, like me, like that woman, the people that are not in the toxic manosphere women hating space. If you can listen to people outside of those spaces, I promise you, you're going to have a better chance of attracting the kind of person you want. I help men of all types, ages, life stages find women in their life and meet women in their life, and I help them develop the self-respect it takes to get there. Once you develop self-respect, you'll stop blaming people for anything in your life, and you will only focus on what it is you can control. I know what it's like to want to help men and then to be told that all I'm doing is creating content that shows hate for men. I have such a love for men, and that is why I'm doing what I do, and that's why I continue to do it. You have been misguided, and I'm trying to put you back on the right path.
Let me tell you something about women, guys. If nothing was happening by the third date with a woman, just move the on, fellas. It is not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze. I guarantee you she's probably slept with several guys the first night without you even knowing about it because you're a beta male berry picker. You always want a woman who desires you. If nothing happens by the third date, I am moving the on because I know what I'm capable of, and I know the best relationships I've ever had, I've slept with the woman the first night. Every woman has a choice to make a guy wait before something happens. She has a choice to keep going out on these dates with a guy without giving him anything back in return. Every woman has that choice. But you as a man, you also have a choice to walk away and to move the on if nothing is happening by the third date. You will meet a woman who desires you and who doesn't make you wait. Why are you wasting your time, energy, and money on a woman who is just using you and taking advantage of you? I don't understand you guys. Why are you wasting your time? If nothing happens between me and a woman by the third date, and I'm being lenient here, I'm being very lenient, I am moving the on because I know what I'm capable of and I know how tight my game is. No woman should make you wait for anything, guys. She is playing you. If a woman isn't spending money on you, if she's not sleeping with you, if she's not offering to pay for, if she's not cooking you food or buying you food, that woman does not like you, bro. Every single woman that has truly liked me that I've been with, she would spend money on me, she would feed me, and she would sleep with me.
I married the wrong person.
In the last 40 years or so, it is increasingly rare for women to marry their first choice in men. Not because there's anything wrong with the man.
There was nothing wrong with him. He was a really good man. I'm the complete opposite. I'm the wild card, the party girl, the DJ, the life and soul of the party.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with the man. The problem is that she's a skank. See, each additional body a woman stacks up, the less and less capable she is of receiving a full impression from that man. Think of a woman as clay to be molded, and the man she engages with is the one who molds her. This is why the Bible allows men to have multiple wives, but never a woman to have multiple husbands. Because a man molds a woman, never the other way around. And so each man a woman engages with puts his mold on that woman. And a woman can only accept so many impressions from men before she's just a mess of hardened, misshapen emotions. It's why promiscuous women are always emotionally volatile, and particularly women who have been with dozens of men. They cease to have emotions that we even recognize as normal human emotions. That's how women like this can be so ice cold.
He was the right person for that season of my life.
In other words, she needed him for security for that season in her life. But once she had regained some stability, she discarded him like a soiled piece of toilet paper. Ecclesiastes 7:26. The promiscuous woman is more bitter than. Choose wisely, man.
A lot of these men have realized that, unfortunately, for a lot of these modern women, it might seem like opting out is the best choice. Because when you look at how much stress you have to go through, modern women being inconsistent, just those two alone will have you saying, or, kind of reconsidering and saying, well, maybe this is not the journey for me right now. Maybe I need to go build myself up. Maybe I need to focus on myself. Maybe I need to put a little bit more into who I am.
The way that you have dealt with the women on station tonight, are you okay with somebody dealing with your daughter or your mother like that?
Yes. I've been on my show several times, and I tell her the real. Come over here and say some, I'm going to check it. That's the problem with women. That's why they end up being statistics. That's why they end up like them. Because nobody correct, and the check's wrong when it's wrong. The fact of the matter is, you coming on a situation and talk about something, somebody might talk to you. There's consequences and repercussions for every action. And I teach all of my daughters that. I say, hey, you want to get pregnant? Don't think daddy's watching the damn kid. I didn't have mine. There are consequences and repercussions for your actions. My job as a father is to protect my child, to teach my child the things that they need to watch out for becoming adults. So yes. That's your question. Thank you for the question.
Ask your question, Erica. Ask your question.
As you are two men with girlfriends. So you guys, your show is catering to your audience, which I totally understand because I'm not the person that I am on my show, right? But it's giving very misogynistic because the girls.
No, misogynistic is Jocelyn Hernandez calling you a in your face. She can do it.
On y'all hoes at? Where y'all hoes at? Where y'all bitches at?
She can do it. It's saying you bitches ain't got nothing. Y'all sit there and dance for it.
Wipe your nose and lady stupid. She's scared to come back, or I fire her?
That's misogynistic. Oh, so it's not misogynistic when Jocelyn do it. But if I tell you the truth about you, now I'm misogynistic. Oh, so she can call you a bitch, and I never called you out your name.
Look at the fly. Won't even get away from you. You so even the flies on you.
A fly?
Oh, she can call you out. She can disrespect you, but all I do is talk loud like a damn drill sergeant. Oh, it's misogynistic when I do it, but it's not misogynistic when she do. Okay. Ugly money. This Thursday, Big Russ got Belly Gang Kush coming to the Southside Lounge. Lil Scrappy, Lil Zane, Big Belly Gang Cushington. This the introduction. Go ahead and text this number if you're trying to perform. And ladies, y'all free till 11:30. Y'all better pull up. They're going to 3 a.m. I'm going to see y'all on the South Side. It's the introduction. Bounce that answer just like your friend do.
And you gotta play hard to get because men love the chase. They actually don't anymore. Okay? They are not with the chase anymore. Let me tell you. Ladies, it has changed, okay? And look, I'm not actually unhappy about all of it. It's been ingrained in us as young women that, not to be too easy, right? And that men love the chase and that they're only gonna want you if you don't want them. And you gotta play hard to get, right? And I've always thought it was honestly. I don't want to. That takes too much work, you know? But now it's gone too far the other way, where they want us to literally do all the work instead. Is unfortunate that both men and women are getting fed horrible advice, horrible information from both sides, that's really honestly pitting us against each other. Let's just literally treat both men and women the same, like how we want to be treated, equally, and I think we'll be good, right? People inflate this idea of like men and women are so different to be really something that it's not. Both men and women don't want people who cheat. We both don't want to do all of the work, right? It has to be 50-50, at least when it comes to effort. We both don't want to have to play hard to get. We both don't want people who gaslight us. Like, it's simple things. And I feel like this red pill and then a lot of the misandrist, stuff that women are getting shoved down their throats on TikTok that you might not even notice, but is subconsciously, leaking in. I think people aren't realizing how much that can actually affect. And then not only that, but how wrong it actually is.
Men have decided it's easier to take a step back. It's easier to opt out rather than trying to hop into confusion, rather than trying to force my way into a situation that, quite frankly, doesn't seem advantageous to me. Doesn't seem like it's going to go well. So I'm not going to sit up there and continue to be like, oh man, I got to get her. No, I don't. The alternative with me forcing myself into this space is I have somebody acting crazy with me, and I don't have time for that.
You know what I think? I think there are no guys who want a serious relationship in 2024.
And you want to know what I think? I think you're 100% correct, young lady. And the reason is because there's no benefit to men anymore. And we keep telling you ladies this over and over again. Men have looked at relationships. They've done an analysis and they've realized there's absolutely no return on investment in getting into a relationship with you. Now, a lot of you are thinking that that's not true because, well, you're still getting attention from men. But you see, the mistake you're making is you think that men are giving you that attention because they want to be in a relationship with you. When the reality is, they just want to have a little fun, if you catch my drift. You see, today's women have made it abundantly clear that they have extremely high expectations, unrealistic ones at that. They feel they can demand, and offer absolutely nothing in return except, well, this, whatever that is. And they don't show the least bit of kindness, caring, or consideration for men. So men have said, okay, we're not going to play this silly little game of yours anymore. We're taking our ball and we're going home. And that's why men aren't interested in serious relationships anymore. But yet, despite the fact we keep telling you this over and over and over again, you keep asking the question because you don't like the answer you're hearing. It's making you look in the mirror and say, what have we done? Why have we reached this point? And rather than take accountability, responsibility, and acknowledgement for that, you keep asking the question, hoping to get a different answer. The bottom line is this. Men have walked away, and more of them are walking away every single day. So serious relationships are done for the near future. And until ladies are willing to accept responsibility, acknowledge the fact that they've treated men like garbage for decades now, and decide to make changes, it's only going to get worse.
I'm getting sick of men saying that. I want a woman to be my peace. No, the you don't. You want a woman that won't question you when you bring in chaos in her life, talking about be my peace. How you want her to be your peace when all you doing is bringing nightmares in her life? And every time she speaks up, you say she's disturbing your peace. Of course she is, because you cheating. You ain't available. You don't validate her. When you say you want a woman to be your peace, you mean you want a woman that don't speak up for herself, that don't call you out on your If you not doing shit is peaceful. You don't even have to say be my peace when you are bringing peace.
I always say to watch out for this on dating apps. Whether you wanted to believe me or not, here is a man telling you the truth about that. When you see that, I'm looking for a peaceful woman, or be peaceful, or I want a relationship that's peaceful, please run. I know it can sound nice, but here's what it actually means. He wants to do whatever he wants. Lie, cheat, disrespect you, disappear, come back whenever he feels like it. And you have to stay quiet about it. Because the second you speak up, you become the chaos. You're bringing drama. You're ruining the vibe. But you were never the chaos. You were the consequence. And he doesn't want consequences. So the next time a man tells you he wants peace, or you see anything about that on a dating app, ask yourself, is he offering peace? Because that's what he should be doing. Or is he demanding your silence? because those are two very different things. I promise you, match with a man on a dating app that has anything about you being peaceful or bringing peace, and you will never feel a moment of peace in that relationship.
Does anybody else think it's weird that women can expect things from men, but men can't expect anything from women? Like, I seriously want you to stop and think about one thing that it's socially acceptable for a man to expect from a woman. Like, can you think of a tangible thing where if I got on here and I was like, hey, I think in a relationship that women blah, 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 that wouldn't be problematic or red pill? Because from what I notice, it's like, it's okay if a woman expects men to pay for dates, but that man can't expect the woman to put out. It's okay if women expect men to pay all their rent, but if he expects her to cook and clean, he's a filthy misogynist. Women can expect a man to facilitate an environment in which they can become a stay-at-home mother. However, that man cannot expect her to become a stay-at-home mother. Like, do you see what I'm getting at here? Personally, I don't think anybody should expect anything from anybody. However, the hypocrisy is crazy to me. And the lack of acknowledgement in the hypocrisy just confuses me. It's like we have certain demographics here who are listing their expectations, but not being willing to deliver anything whatsoever.
Say it louder for the women in back. That's definitely gonna get me in trouble. In all seriousness, this is what's so frustrating for so many men out there, because they're either trying to find a life partner through all of this stuff, all of the double standards, all of the negativity towards men in general right now. The fact that so many women would pick the bear over a man, or they've decided to just stay single. They've decided to remove themselves from the game. And let me just say that out of this group of guys that have decided to remain single, there's two subgroups. The one subgroup that is the large majority is the group of guys that are just silent about it. They have removed themselves silently from the dating world. But yet you hear about the smaller subgroup of men that are angry and they're putting out content. They're leaving the comments. But what women fail to realize is that this is a smaller subgroup. Most men out there are just so frustrated over these double standards. And if while being single, they've discovered peace and sanity, they're going to stay there. They are choosing peace over this craziness.
And a lot of these modern women, you know, they want men to continue to audition for a role that, quite frankly, Chad and Tyrone didn't even have to try out for. Chad and Tyrone, y'all know those actors and actresses, they don't even have to show up to the audition. They already got the part. That's what's happening with a lot of these Chads and Tyrones. They don't even have to audition. You got the part. Sold. He don't put no energy into it. But then you got Chad and Tyrone over here. You just give it up. A man's gonna find out about that. And when he finds out about that, how do you think that's gonna make him feel? Not very good.
The one thing that I live by is testing men early on. And when I say testing them, I'm saying create a problem. For me, I do money problems. And I see how quick they are to help, or I see how quick they are to provide. And if they don't provide, or if they don't come up with a solution, you gotta go.
So she said one thing she do early in the relationship is test men. She said she created a problem to test men. Her problems usually be money problems to test men, and they don't provide or give in to whatever her demands is. She kick them to the curb. You testing them for money problems because you have money problems. And somebody might come in this comment and be like, oh, how you know she got money problems? Well, why you testing that man for money if you good? I just did a video just a few minutes ago where the lady said she don't need the meal. So, but let's watch this one again. So just in case I missed something.
And one thing that I live by is testing men early on. And when I say testing them, I'm saying create a problem. For me, I do money problems. And I see how quick they are to help, or I see how quick they are to provide. And if they don't provide, or if they don't come up with a solution, you gotta go.
I'll probably be one of the ones that dip as soon as you ask me for a dime. I'm out. I don't believe in giving money, especially if we just dating, just started dating. If you're my wife, you get anything you want. I should protect you, but not testing men early. That's foolish talk, man. That's some gold digger. That's some gold digger mess right there. But it is what it is. Let's move to the next one.
You found yourself in the friend zone because you decided to settle for access to her, a breadcrumb of attention, rather than be upfront with what you want. And there is some part of you that believes that avoiding rejection is far better than getting the love that you really want. See, as living beings, we are wired to avoid pain and death. Our main goal is survival. And if your body is registering that rejection or putting yourself out there is a threat to your survival, it will stop you from doing it, even if it means not having what you really want, because it prioritizes the avoidance of pain over getting pleasure. My name is Dr. Lily. I help you create healthy and aligned relationships based on neuroscience and psychology. See, opting for being friends instead of asking for what you really want feels like a safe compromise. But what you're really compromising on is the relationship, the love, the family, and the future that you really desire for yourself. And all it's doing is keeping you in a bubble that might feel safe, but is empty in the end. And the harsh truth is that it serves as a reflection for how you will settle for a life you don't even want. The wife, the kids, and the life that you want require you to be the man that can hold them. And that starts with claiming the life you want and showing your nervous system that it is safe enough to take the necessary steps to get there. My name is Dr. Lily, and I will help you do just that, because I know it's not as easy as deciding that you're going to do something different, but it requires your body to feel safe enough, like it is worth the risk to do it too. Comment date for my free 14 days of dating advice guide for men.
You know, you have a lot of steady guys, a lot of regular guys, a lot of average guys out here that are continuing to get overlooked because you would prefer, and it's like I talked about in some other commentary, you want a guy that's chaotic, that's up and down. You want a guy that, and you know, I'm laughing about it, but I'm not really joking. You want a guy to beat you upside the head, a guy that you got to run out the house 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, run down the street, beat down your neighbor's door. That's the type of guy that you got to call the freaking police to get that man up out of there. Got to take that man to jail. He's a criminal. He's a criminal. And that's the type of stuff these modern women want.
If that man can go more than 24 hours without texting you, calling you, checking on you, asking if your day was good, saying good morning, good night, good evening, whatever it is, that man don't want you like that. That is a man that you need to block out your phone. Let me tell you why. Because here's the thing. Intentionality is key. You a good girl looking for a man with intention. But that man only texts you out of convenience. That's the opposite of commitment. That's the opposite of a man with the husband spirit. That's a man that might be juggling multiple different women, and he ain't got the bandwidth to keep up with you. You find yourself texting him first, like you a ghost blocker. Because if you don't text him, if you don't call him, if you don't nudge him, he don't reach back out to you. That's not your man. He might be for the streets. He might be busy. He might got a goal, a passion, a dream he working towards, but he ain't looking for a wife right now. You need to take yourself out of his grip, because here you are thinking that you got something special you built in, and that's the only man you texting, but that man can go 24 hours without checking on you. What if something happened? What if you need some attention? What if you need the security of knowing that the man you thinking about is also thinking about you, and he ghosts on you? I guess what I'm saying is, find a man that can't go 24 hours without thinking about you. And that's the bare minimum. Before you get to anything else, is he a leader when it comes to initiation? Is that man showing you you are important to his life? If not, find someone else, especially someone that is looking for a wife. Because I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of men that will text you out of convenience. There are very few men that will text you because of the commitment. Period. But that's just me.
Andrew Tate's chauvinism is out. It's out because he's like, men dominate women. Yeah. By the way, we're Christians, not Muslims. That's honestly, that's Islam. Yeah. Islam is all men over all women. We're Christians, not Muslims. If you're pulling rank frequently in your marriage, bro, you are so off the rails. Where it starts as head of the home is you be the example of godliness and servanthood. Be the guy that reads the Bible every day and prays every day and acts like it. On the other hand, the other thing that's out is like fourth wave feminism. It's out. And that's the, hey man, there is no distinction in any way. And to say so is repressive. The uniform narrative of Scripture is that, watch this, is really important, that God has created men and women as equals, but not equivalents. Equal in value, but different in function. So Ephesians 5 is one of the passages where it talks about, Ephesians 5:22, wives submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. We do not apologize for that verse. That's in the Bible. Women of God love that verse. But what a lot of people do is they run past Ephesians 5:21. Before it commands wives to submit to your husbands, in verse 21 it says, submitting to one another out of reverence for Christ. So, man, honestly, it's like whenever people have rough marriages, I just want to be like, dude, you don't have to do this. There's such a better way where both people walk in the door and in every conversation they're going, man, how can I lay down my wants, my needs, my desires so that I can bless you? It says to love your wives as Christ loved the church. So the way that Jesus did that is he loved the bride. He laid down his life for the bride. He was attentive to the needs of the bride. There ain't no way that somebody would see that example and say that domineering is the exact opposite of that. God's design and commands are good for us.
You know how people always say, like, oh, I should have bought a house like in 2008 when I was like 12 years old and blah, 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 blah. That's how I'm starting to feel about dating. Like, I should have found my husband when I was like 10 before that they were like horrible human beings and life was awful. Because dating in your late 20s is like honestly the most painful thing. And nobody prepared me for it. There's also a pandemic of like 5'9", 5'8", 5'7" men that are really attractive. And then I look at the height and I'm sorry in advance for this, but I just can't. Sorry, not happening for me. To women who can do that, great for you, good for you. I'm not one of those.
Guys, this is exactly why I say just keep her talking, let her rant, because she will always tell on herself. And obviously she had a lot more to say, but full stop, this is the issue. We came to it, right? The average height of a man is 5'9". But women continue to be so out of touch about this particular topic when dating. They do not understand that they can't potentially have it all. They can't have the man that's over 6 foot and then has all of these other qualities that they demand, especially when they themselves are not in the top 1% of women. I know that's going to ruffle so many feathers, but this is the reality that so many women do not face. And then they end up in this cycle of dating casually where they are dating men that truly don't like them that much. And they don't end up getting treated the best way, which gives them a very negative attitude towards men. And then it continues to cycle into their 30s. And then it pulls some women out of it. And they realize that they really need to just focus on the things that actually matter, which might not be height. But not every woman makes it out. And those are the ones that are at most risk for remaining single for the rest of their lives. So pick one, ladies. Which one do you want to be?
My ex-wife's been remarried for 15 years. How did you two meet? She was 18 and I was 19. And at 2 a.m. there was a fire drill. And I saw her and I thought she was really cute. And I was like, hey, I'm Jim Sexton. This is Mike Fawcett. And her first words to me were, Sexton and Fawcett. It sounds like a bad cop show. And I remember thinking, I like her. And we were friends. We were friends for a really long time. We weren't dating.
Why?
One night over like a Christmas break, we both got drunk and we hooked up. But she didn't really want to be my girlfriend. She's like, you're really not like a serious guy. She's like, you're like a guy you have fun with. And I remember being sort of like offended by that. Like, no, I'm going to try to get her to like take me seriously. And she wouldn't and didn't. We would hook up a lot, but she just didn't take me seriously. And then I pulled a kind of nuclear move. One of her sorority sisters asked me out and I said yes. And then I said to her, I'm like, oh, you know, I'm going out with Sue. She was like, you're what? You're going to go out with her? And I was like, why wouldn't I go out with her? I'm not in a relationship. And she was like, fine, go out with her. I don't care. The day before the date, she was like, all right, I think I'm comfortable with us saying we're boyfriend and girlfriend. That was it. We moved in together a couple months later. And then we got married at 22 and we had our first kid when we were 24. So we did a lot really fast. We were so young, I don't think we really knew what we wanted in a person. And we both came from challenging families. We both came from households that had an alcoholic father. We both moved out when we were 17. We were each other's other's family. We realized we could rely on each other, and we did. And we did a good job. I don't see my divorce as a failure. She's been remarried for like 15 years to an awesome guy, really nice guy. Very different than me, very different personality, but like just a nice guy and a good guy.
Not to be funny, but is he more serious?
Yeah, he's more calm. He's a therapist. He's not the most talkative. He's more of a listener. And that was, I think, big for her. She wanted someone who was a better listener than me and was more patient than me. He's very patient and I'm not. And so he was the kind of person she needed. Like, I love her very much. I always will. Every Mother's Day, I text her. I'm so glad we had kids together. I'm so glad that you're the mother of my kids. Like, I'm so grateful for you.
Court just got out of session, and if you don't know, I was back in child support court showing some receipts because my baby daddy was contesting the cruise I bought when the child support money came in, and I had asked him to pay the rent because I didn't have the rent money anymore after buying the cruise. Well, let's talk about it. I just left court, and now they have ordered me to reimburse him $6,000. My baby daddy, $6,000. I have to reimburse him because I, according to them, did not use the funds accordingly that was given to me by child support. Now, I am pissed because I am going to see what I can do to overturn this decision about me having to reimburse him $6,000.
That judge clearly got it right. And bravo to that father for standing up for his kids and taking that woman to court when she is supposed to be providing to them through the funds that he is giving to her. Unfortunately, what a lot of people don't understand is that a man will have zero problem paying child support as long as they see that that child support is actually supporting their child. Because I think it's completely valid for a man that's already paying for health insurance, already paying half of daycare costs, to have a problem with paying an additional $1,000 a month for one child. And then on top of that, he also provides anything that that child needs under his roof. So much so that the child literally just brings the clothes on their back to his place. But then when those clothes are holey, or they're 2 sizes too small, or the shoes are falling apart, that man has a valid complaint. And then when the mother of that said child comes and asks for additional because of her own spending habits, yeah, that's not going to fly. This man made the right move.
And a lot of these modern women are wanting men to yearn. They're wanting men to chase. They're wanting men to pursue. But in today's, the way it happens in today's dating, that puts you as the weaker vessel because, you know, I'm the prize, right? You chase me, you want me, show me that you want me. I've already proved myself by the fact that you want me, even though I haven't done anything. The fact that you want me means I'm more valuable in this relationship. And that's what a lot of modern women are doing. So when a man steps back and says, okay, well, you know, if you're not going to reciprocate and you're going to think that you all that, I'm just going to go ahead and go the other way. I'm going to go a different direction. Now you're stunned and you're talking about men aren't men anymore.